ponder, introduction, and chapter 1, points to ponder. Why was the Bhagavad Gita taught? Anybody? So the answers are, of course, there. You can go to the answers section here. So, but first we will try to look at the question. So why was the Bhagavad Gita taught? Anybody wants to make an attempt at this? Yes, Sumitra.
To make it more accessible to common man.
Yeah. So already during the time of the composition of the Mahabharata, a lot of this knowledge of Vedanta was getting lost. And how do we know this? Sri Krishna himself says that. He says that in the fourth chapter. So the first chapter, I'm just giving you a prelude to what's about to come. So rarely does in the first Shatkam there's a discussion of God. So we saw that, right? The Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 Shatkams. First is mainly on Jiva Swarupam. Second on Ishvara Swarupam. Third on the Jiva Paramatma Swarupa Aikyam, the oneness of Jiva and Ishvara. It's like water and waves and ocean. They're all water. So, but here in the first Shatkam, in the fourth chapter, 4 is part of 1 through 6. So Krishna very clearly says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vibhasvate Yogam Proktavanaham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Ikshvakave Bravit. The Blessed Lord said, I taught this eternal science of yoga to the sun god called Vivaswan, who passed it on to Manu, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. So this is how it went. But something happened. He says, Evam parampara praptim imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. This knowledge was received by the great rishis in their deep meditation. However, with the passage of time, this knowledge was lost to the world. Sakale neha mahata, by the great passage of time, mahata means great, yogo nashta, it was lost. And he's addressing Arjuna as Parantapa, scorcher of force. So that is what happened. And that is why this is being revived by Krishna. Okay. Second question. So is the Bhagavad Gita a new teaching of Krishna? And if so, what is the main message Krishna is trying to convey? Anybody wants to tell? So these are all misconceptions. A lot of people think there is some new message that Krishna is trying to say. So I've already given you the answer. Yes, Sumitra.
No, it is not a new found knowledge. It is that which has already existed in the Vedas, which is revived. It's, you told in the first answer itself, it's something that is, that's what you told.
Yeah. So the Bhagavad Gita is not a single idea that is Krishna's. Krishna very clearly he said that this, I'm just giving what was lost. And ditto copy. Krishna copies from Kathopanishad, Mundaka Upanishad. Krishna's favorite Upanishad is Kathopanishad. He just left, right, center, takes right from there, puts it. So not a single idea which is not conveyed in the Upanishad. So that is why it's called, Krishna is called Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogda Gopala Nandanaha. In the invocation song, it's called the Gita Dhyanam. It says all the Upanishads are like cows, and Krishna is like a cowherd, right? So Krishna is like the milkman. He's just given the condensed essence of the Upanishads. And what is the difference between Upanishads and Vedanta? Anybody? Anybody wants to? So you can open the answers too. It's an open book. Yes, Sumitra.
Same.
They are
Upanishad,
the same.
Vedanta,
Yeah.
same.
So like Swamiji would joke that somebody came to him and said, Swamiji, I've studied the entire Vedanta. I'm going to study the Upanishads. Please tell me how I can do that. The Swamiji said, you have not understood either Vedanta or Upanishads because they're one and the same. So the Veda has two portions. Veda Purva, which is all about actions to purify the mind, right? So until the mind is purified, we can't grasp higher concepts. So then there is a Veda Anta. Purva means beginning, Anta means end. Veda Anta is called Vedanta, which is also called Upanishads. So the initial portion is rituals to purify the mind. The latter portions contain knowledge of the Atma. Okay. What is the initial portion of the Vedas called? Yes, Sumitra, you had a question?
Yes, Anna. What is the main message Krishna is trying to convey? I think we missed out that in
Okay. What's the main message? We will come again. We'll see that in 6. So we'll take it there. I've
okay.
kind of repeated it. We'll take it there.
Okay.
What is the initial portion of the Vedas called, and what is its significance? We just saw that now. Anybody wants to answer? Yes, Sumitra?
Initial portion is called Veda Purva,
Yeah,
which is the first part of Veda Anta is the latter portion.
correct.
Veda Anta.
Yeah. And it's also called Karma Kanda. Kanda is portion on actions to purify the mind. That's why all this, your asanas, all this we do, it's a preparation for meditation. Otherwise, people can't even sit still. Meditation is torture for a lot of people. They cannot even sit their mind. We saw that, right? The 5 types of mind, Shipta, Moda, Vikshipta, Ekagra, Niruddha. The first 2 are not fit for meditation. Okay, Vikshipta, that's where it's sometimes focused, sometimes distracted. So all these are actions to purify the mind. Then what is a Shastra? Why is the Bhagavad Gita called a 3-in-1 Shastra? And what are the 3 aspects covered? We just saw that in the concluding verse. Anybody wants to answer? Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu. It is a 3-in-1 Shastra because it has knowledge of the Upanishads. Brahma Vidyayam, knowledge of the Brahman, the consciousness. So later Krishna will see, this is my higher para prakriti, he calls it, my higher self. This is the consciousness. And Krishna will give powerful examples. In the Mundaka Upanishad, it says how initially there was only consciousness. There's this a title song for Bharat Ek Khoj, a program. Shrishti se pehle sat nahi ta, asat bhi nahi, antariksh bhi nahi, akash bhi nahi ta. So there was only consciousness, and from the consciousness, this is Brahman. Like a spider is both the instrumental cause or the intelligent cause and the material cause of the web. From the spider, the web comes. It also weaves it into a pattern. So the Brahman, it's compared to a spider. From the spider, the material comes, which is the Prakriti, and the intelligence also stays as Brahman. And then the creation develops. So it is the knowledge of the Brahman, and it is also a yoga shastra. Yoga is to purify the mind. Okay. And what is the main message of the Bhagavad Gita? Anybody wants to say? Yes, Sumitra?
Atma Vidya,
Yes.
knowledge of
It is,
the self.
yeah. A lot of people say, oh, Bhagavad Gita is a text on bhakti. Bhakti is surrendered to Ishvara. It is not a text on bhakti. It's bhakti is there, but that's not the prime thing. It is about skill in action, meditation, values to lead life by, and the nature of Brahman. All this is there, but its nature of Brahman is Ishvara. So it is essentially Atma Jnanam, or knowledge of the Atma. So the Bhagavad Gita is considered Atma Jnanam. Yeah,
Just one small doubt, Anna.
yeah,
I recall somebody saying that the first word of the Bhagavad Gita and the last word of the Bhagavad Gita
yeah,
summarize
yeah, yeah,
dharma.
yeah. Dharma Kshetre, yeah.
Yeah. So, is it also about mama dharma, my duty?
Yeah, all that is covered, but the main message, it is Atma Vidya, without
Correct.
any doubt. Yeah. What are the two yogas discussed in the Bhagavad Gita? Anybody wants to answer? We've seen this many, many, many times. Anybody? Yes, Sumitra?
Karma yoga, jnana yoga.
Yes. And very clearly, Bhagavan has said this, all Ashtanga Yoga, meditation, asana, everything falls under Karma Yoga. And where does he say? We're going to see this. The class after next, we will enter the third chapter. So 3.3, Bhagavan will say, Lokesmin vivida nishta pura prokta maya Jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. I have two types of lifestyles. One is that of Jnana Yoga for the Sankhya. Sankhya means those who want to pursue knowledge purely and just renounce from other activities, and Karma Yoga for the yogis. So very clearly, Bhagavan has said that. So all this is Bhagavan's teachings, not what we are making up. Very clearly, it's said all over the Bhagavad Gita. Then the Bhagavad Gita is organized as three sets of 6 chapters, right? What are the main topics covered in these three um, Shatkams? Shatkam is a group of 6 chapters. Anybody wants to say this? What is the main topic in each Shatkam? We just saw that now. Anybody? Yes, Sumitra?
The nature of jiva
Yeah,
in the first Prathama Shatkam.
yeah,
Madhyama Shatkam, it is about Ishvara.
yes.
And the third one is Jiva and Ishvara, how both are connected. Aikyam,
Yes, Aikyam. Aikyam means oneness of
oneness.
Ekam. Aikya, it comes from Ekam, the oneness
Uh,
of Jiva and Ishvara. So there are three. So this is the main thing. There's main theme, additional themes. So if you know the structure, the study of Bhagavad Gita is so easy. This is the structure followed. Next, Krishna talks about the practices. So in the first Prathama Shatkam, it's Karma Yoga. It talks about meditation, how to do actions without attachment, all that. In the Madhyama Shatkam, it is about Ishvara Dhyanam. That's where the Vishwarupa Darshanam comes, seeing the God in the world creation. So that requires a special training of the mind. meditation on God. Third is about Jnana Yoga. Very clearly, he'll starting 13th, 14th, 15th, or everything's about Jnana Yoga. Then, how do we achieve success? Is the third topic. So this is the practice, and what is the ingredient for success? That it that the first shatkam is about prayatna, individual effort. So there are two aspects. There is your karma or the grace of God, all that. Then there's the individual effort. So they're both are needed. You can't say fatalism, and you can't say I can do anything I want. No, there's some bounds, but the first shatkam lays emphasis on prayatna, the individual effort. The middle shatkam on Ishvara Anugraha, the grace of God. You can say karma or all that, but there is, even to study the Bhagavad Gita, you have done a lot of punyam in the past. To be able to sit for 1 hour to do this, it's a lot of past punyam that has carried you into this. Most people, for them, it's torture to study this. Even sit in meditation, it is torture for a lot of people. The last thing, it's satguna or values to purify the mind. That's the secret ingredient. So, tvam tat asi. This is called a Mahavakyam, the great equation which connects the Jiva and Ishvara. So, equations connect seemingly different quantities. 6 plus 7 is equal to 10 plus 3. They don't look the same, seemingly different, but they're equal. That is what equation is. So Mahavakyam, the great equation, connects the Jiva to the Brahman, the Paramatma. Okay, that is what this entire structure is about. Then, why are there? This is a very common confusion. Every chapter is called a yoga. Why is every chapter called a yoga? First, look at this. First chapter is titled Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Yoga of Arjuna's grief. Crying yoga. If we blindly follow this, there's laughter yoga. People will start crying and say, okay, now we have crying yoga. You can come and cry as much as you want. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, it says it's a legitimate yoga. This is how people interpret and they misuse it. So why is every chapter called a yoga? Anybody wants to answer? You can look at the answer and answer too. So yoga means union. Yoga means yet uchati, that is yoga. What unites is yoga. Can be union of different things, jiva and paramatma, or the mind and the body. Asanas unite the mind and the body, because we don't live in our body, we live in our head, right? That's what asana practice does. Yoga so means union or collection. It just means collection of shlokas on a certain topic. That's all it means here. Nothing more. So crying yoga is not a legitimate yoga. Okay. So I will stop the recording. So we've was this useful? The